How can you ensure that the analysis you conduct on the data is correctly identifying the trends in the data set? Did you remember to take assumptions of normality into account? And are there outliers within the data set? What is the correct way to handle these observations? All these questions and more will be answered throughout this course. And if you're unsure of the meaning of these terms, this course will also clarify terminology like normality, skewness, correlation, and much more terms you need to get started statistically analyzing data. Hello and a warm welcome to Shaw Academy. Your course educator is Marlise Jordan. She created this course with the aim of introducing you to statistical analysis. Her goal is for you to be comfortable with statistically analyzing whatever data challenge you might be faced with, and do so accurately. Marlise has an undergraduate degree in computer science and a postgraduate degree in mathematical statistics. She's also completed the official SAS Base Certificate course. Marlise enjoys extracting insights from data particularly to help better the community. Now, Herbert said that the capacity to learn is a gift, the ability to learn is a skill, and the willingness to learn is a choice. Make the choice today to commit to this course and improve your knowledge. My name is Nina Smith. I am the one behind the voice you're hearing now, and I will be presenting this course. Our mission here is to change lives by providing great education, which is accessible and affordable to everyone all over the world, giving you the flexibility to learn your way. We are globally recognized and aligned with the standards of education in countries all across the world. Here at Shaw, we offer real engagement, qualifications, and success, giving you the most up-to-date industry developments with subject matter experts allowing you to master your practical skills and achieve your goals. Remember that this course is a 16-week course, which consists of 4 modules. Module 1 is basic, Module 2 is intermediate, Module 3 is advanced, and Module 4 is considered to be proficient. This is your professional diploma course in Statistical Analysis, Lesson 1, Introduction to Statistical Analysis. In Lesson 1, we will be introduced to statistical analysis. We will discuss what the difference between this course and the data analysis course is, and who this course is aimed at. Thereafter, we will introduce the tool we will utilize throughout this module called SAS. We will end today's lesson with a fun practical demonstration in SAS. Before we go any further, let me introduce you to our Shaw AI bot, Morpheus. At any stage during your lessons, if you have questions, he is here to assist. Simply type your question or answer into the chat box on your screen. Please remember to rate your interactions with Morpheus, as this helps us to improve our answers. And since Morpheus is an AI bot, he will actually learn from your ratings and become even more intelligent. You will be able to access your summary notes and webinar slides from your course page under your toolkit. These will come in quite handy for your assignment at the end of this module. After each and every lesson, you are welcome to take the lesson quiz. Here we'll ask you some general questions to improve the quality of the information we give you, and we'll also test your knowledge on the lesson you just watched. If for whatever reason Morpheus or your classmates are not able to assist you with an answer, please send us an email at support@shawacademy.com and we will make sure to get back to you as soon as possible. Let's kick off this course with our first topic of the day, an introduction to statistical analysis. Now, some of you might have seen the data analytics course we have available at Shaw, or some of you might have even been attending some of the classes from the data analytics course. You might be wondering what the difference between these two subjects is. Now, simply put, statistical analysis is when we apply mathematical statistical techniques to a portion of the population that is our data. Data analysis is considered to be the investigation, cleaning, some modeling, and presenting of data. A data analyst is therefore someone who specializes in exploring data, whereas a statistical analyst will center their attention more on what's inferring beyond the data. So there is an overlap between these fields, especially as technology evolves, but they are seen as two separate pursuits. John Tukey was a famed American mathematician known for creating, amongst other, the box plot and Tukey test, which we will learn more about later in this course. About statistics, John Tukey said in 1961 that it is procedures for analyzing data, techniques for interpreting the results of such procedures, ways of planning the gathering of data to make its analysis easier, more precise, or more accurate, and all the machinery and results of mathematical statistics which apply to analyzing data. Now, this is what we should be aiming for when conducting statistical analysis on data, to generate more precise and more accurate results than what was previously done. So who should take this course? Is this course for you? If you are a data analyst that has handled data and is expected to extract insights from data, but maybe you lack some foundational knowledge surrounding statistical concepts, this course is for you. Even more so, if you're a data scientist and your background is maybe more engineering related, statistics is one of the foundational pillars of your field, and the concepts needs to be securely cemented into your brain. If you're wishing to become a future statistical analyst, this course will aid you. If you are a student interested in the field wishing to explore more of the topic, you are in the right place. And lastly, if you are a researcher and you're involved in studies, this course is for you. This course will help you better understand what you can do with your data and what type of data you need in order to achieve the statistical significance you wish to see. So let's look at some of the concepts we will learn more of in this module so that you can have an idea of what to look forward to. Like I've mentioned, we will work with SAS as a tool, which we will talk about a bit further later in this lesson. We will dive deep into all the fundamental concepts you need to lay a good understanding of statistical analysis. We will explore concepts such as study design and hypothesis testing and learn how to plot graphs using SAS. We will also explore concepts surrounding probability and related topics for making inferences about data, and end with research questions about 1 and 2 groups with ANOVA. So, lots to look forward to in this module. So, let's have a look at the journey you'll go on when you want to statistically analyze your data. If you come from the analytics course, see which of these steps look familiar to you. Step 1 involves understanding the question posed to us as the statistician or statistical analyst. Thereafter, we actually need to obtain the data. Thirdly, we need to clean the data. Thereafter, we manage the data by, for instance, creating extra variables. Then we describe the data through descriptive statistics. And then, just because we love the process so much, we return to step 3 and clean the data again. Just kidding. Stay tuned to find out why we repeat this process. Step 7 involves modeling the data. And finally, we have our results and we can interpret the results. The last step is always to report the results back to the shareholders. Let's break each step down and make sure we know what is expected of us in each part of the journey. So what needs to happen before you can dive into the data? We need to understand what stakeholders want from the data and understand the question they're posing to us. Is it possible to answer the question? Think about how long it will realistically take you to answer the question and be upfront about any challenges you foresee. Try to ask specific questions in this step of the process in order to fully understand the question posed. Next step in the process, we need to extract data from the various sources that can help us answer the question posed by the stakeholders. Use all data sources available to draw insights from. The more data we gather, the better. And make sure that the format of the data is compatible with the tool you're using in this step, and if not, transform it. Now that we have the data in the correct format and we have imported the data into the tool we're utilizing, we can clean the data. Now this step is all about the quality of the data. Data cleaning involves removing information not needed, updating information that is incomplete or incorrect, checking if there are any duplicate variables, to name but a few of the steps. If you are combining data sources, check that unexpected errors did not creep in. You can also check if the data is outdated or not. Some sources lumps data management and data cleaning into one, but I would like for us to define this as a separate step, purely so that we remember that in this step, we create new variables through combination of existing ones. For instance, in order to make the data exploration step more efficient, after we have explored the data, we will return to this step and likely have a better understanding of how to manage the data. Now, this step can also include making sure the data complies with the Data Protection Privacy Act if the data is drawn from older sources. Next up, we describe the data. Describing the data involves showing or summarizing the data in a meaningful way, so that, for example, patterns might emerge from the data. We describe the data in order to spot any obvious trends and outliers and evaluate initial distributions. This step helps us to further clean and manage the data, which is why we return to the data cleaning step after we have a better understanding of the data. And we repeat the data cleaning, managing, and describing the data steps of this journey until we find the data to be in sufficient condition for us to start the modeling process. Finally, we get to the fun part, modeling the data. Here we apply the appropriate model to the data for predictive analytical purposes. With the model, we are able to forecast the event within a certain accuracy. If we work with garbage data, the result in this step will also be garbage, hence why we spend so much time cleaning and managing the data. Now we get to the most challenging part of the process, accurately interpreting the results of the model. Appropriate interpretation of the results is critical to make sense of the apparent disarray. In order to accurately assess the results, you need to understand the subject matter you are analyzing as well as the statistical method you are applying. The last step, but never the end of the analytics process, will always be to communicate the findings of your results to your audience, the shareholders that pose the question. Always be sure to carry over the learnings in a manner that is understandable to the audience. If the audience has some technical knowledge of the field, you're able to explain findings in more detail. But if the audience has no technical knowledge of the field, make sure to focus more on the key takeaways of the results. Reporting can also take the form of a written document, for example, in the case of academic papers. Naturally, academic jargon is more technical than a presentation and is typically led by the medium it wishes to be published in. But we will not go into too much detail because this is dependent on your field of study and many other factors. Finally, remember to include many visualizations as these help to sketch a clear picture of the outcome to both technical and non-technical audiences alike. Something that you will find throughout this course is what I like to call brain breaks. It's just a short time where we stop and stretch a bit and give our brain some time to digest all the information it has consumed before we dive into the next topic of the day. Let's all take a few seconds to step away from the desk, stretch, and breathe. We are at the second topic of the day. Let's get familiar with the tool that we will use throughout this module, SAS. So what exactly is SAS? SAS is a statistical analysis system established in 1976 and is specifically designed for data management, advanced analytics, multivariate analysis, business intelligence, and predictive analytics, to name but a few of the functions. SAS is a software suite and tools including data mining, statistical analysis, forecasting, text analysis, optimization, and simulation. Why are we introducing SAS in this course? Why do I think it's a tool you should be interested in? As mentioned, SAS has products for various different scenarios. SAS models are created on a closed programming language, therefore data security is easier to ensure. In comparison to R, it has been said that SAS has a quicker learning curve, meaning that users seem to find it easier to learn SAS. Users also say that debugging, meaning being able to fix an error, is easier in SAS. Furthermore, SAS is a highly requested skill in many organizations, and this skill could potentially open many doors for you. Lastly, but certainly not the last of the advantages of using this tool, is that SAS offers good customer support for corporations during the installation and administration process of their services, which is something open source software is simply not able to provide because of the nature of the tool. As with any tool, there are advantages and disadvantages. So let's look at what some of the disadvantages are we face when using SAS. Because this tool is not open source, there is quite a high cost involved for purchasing the license to work with it. In this module, however, we will use SAS University Edition, that is free SAS software. In comparison to open source platforms, SAS has a shortfall when it comes to graphically representing data. Users have also mentioned that it is difficult to use SAS for text mining, which we will not do in this course. Therefore, this downfall is not of great importance to us. As I've mentioned, in this module, we will be working with SAS University Edition, that is free SAS software used for learning statistics. Now, SAS specifically designed the University Edition for those needing access to statistical software in order to learn more about quantitative analysis. The tool holds a vast array of features, and unfortunately, we do not have time to go through each of these. So I will put the link to where you can find out more about the various features of the tool in the summary notes for those wanting to learn more about the tool. You can download SAS University Edition from this link. You can pause the video now and head over to the link and follow the steps laid out on the website. Or you can follow along in the demo and complete the process with me. Let's pop over to SAS University Edition now and import our first open source dataset from Kaggle. So here you can see we have now navigated to the SAS University Edition page. And the first option that they present us with is to start by choosing your operating system. So I'm using Windows, and the page says that we must make sure we have Microsoft Windows 7, 8, or 10. With a 64-bit hardware system. And this will be a 4-step installation process. We will first download the virtualization software. Create a folder name for my folders on the computer. Then we will download SAS University Edition. Then we will import SAS University Edition into the virtualization software, and then we will start using the tool. So here you can also see the process is very well laid out on SAS's website. So you're more than welcome to watch the videos they have available on the page to help guide you if you're still struggling with the installation process after this demo. And they also have a PDF document available for us. Our first step is to download the virtualization software. We will click on Download Virtualbox for Windows, and that will take us to the Virtualbox download site. And I am using Windows, so I'll click on the Windows host and download that. And then while it's downloading, we can create a folder named SAS University Edition on the computer. The folder can be anywhere. It doesn't matter where you create it. So I have now created a folder called SAS University Edition. Just note that the text needs to look exactly like this. And then in the SAS folder you created, you create a subfolder called My Folders. And now we can see that our Virtualbox is done downloading. So let's open and install that now. Okay, so now that we have downloaded the Virtualbox, the next step is to download SAS University Edition. So once again, here is a video that you can watch, and that will show you how to install and download the Virtualbox on the SAS website. We will download it by clicking on the Get SAS University Edition button here. And then you'll see that you'll be prompted to create a SAS profile or sign in if you've already created an account. And then once we've created an account, we have to agree to all the terms and conditions. And then we will download the SAS University Edition. So you can see that it's busy downloading, but the file is quite big, 2.3 gigabytes, so it might take a while to download depending on your internet speed. Okay, now that the Virtualbox and SAS University Edition is downloaded, we are at the third step of the process, and we will configure everything that we've downloaded. So I've opened a Virtualbox, and we're going to install that now. Okay, now that we've installed everything we need and we've launched the Virtualbox, we are going to import SAS University Edition into the Virtualbox machine. So the SAS site tells us to go to File, Import Appliance. Then we need to click on the SAS University Edition file that we downloaded. That is the OVA icon. And click on Open, then click on Next, then Import. And then our next step is to share the My Folders folder we created with the Virtualbox. So we will navigate to Machine, Settings, and then we want to go to Shared Folders, and then Add, Other, and we select the SAS University Edition folder. So select the My Folder subfolder, and then we have to check Auto Mount and Make Permanent if that option is available. And then we click on OK, and then we click on OK again. So now we only have to start SAS University Edition, and then we've completed all the steps. Navigate to File, Start, and select Normal Start. Now these steps have to be completed every time we want to use SAS University Edition. And you will see the SAS screen appears. And when it is up and running, it will be replaced with a black console screen. That is the welcome window. We can minimize the welcome window, but not close it while we're in the current session of SAS. So we are just waiting for the machine to start. And now it's displaying the black console window. Now we want to navigate to this link that we see here. The localhost 10080, and click on Start SAS Studio. And that is it. We've installed and downloaded SAS University Edition. So now we can start using it. In Lesson 2, we will dive deeper into understanding concepts surrounding the design of studies. We will also start looking at the many ways that we can summarize data through tabular and graphical displays. In this course, we will gain many valuable skills. We will continuously refer back to the skills progression chart to reflect on the progress we've made thus far. By the end of this course, you'll be able to color in all these charts and have gained many new priceless skills. With that, we have started building on our statistical programming knowledge and will continue to do so with our next topic. Our final topic of the day. Let's end this lesson with a practical demonstration of importing data into SAS. But first, what file types can be imported into SAS? According to SAS's documentation, the following file types can be imported: Microsoft Access database files, delimited files such as files with comma-separated values, dbase, Stata files, Microsoft Excel files. To import XLSB and XLSM files, you must use the SAS libname statement. JMP files, ParadoxDB files, SPSS files, Lotus 1, 2, 3 files from release 2, 3, 4, or 5. If you're using the SAS Studio Enterprise Edition or the SAS Studio Basic Edition, your data file might be saved to your local computer. In this case, you must upload the file to SAS Studio before you can import it. Let's pop over to SAS now and learn how to import a CSV file. Okay, now you're going to import a dataset called the Red Wine Quality Dataset. This is an open source dataset in Kaggle. Now the dataset relates to red and white variants of a specific wine. So with this dataset, we can determine the quality of the wine on a scale from 0 to 10. Let's download the dataset. Okay, so I downloaded the dataset into the Statistical Analysis folder on my computer. Now we want to import the dataset into SAS University Edition. So something I just want to show you that is a really nice feature of SAS is how involved SAS is with education and with learning. There is a lot of references that you'll be able to find on their site. For instance, if you want to import an Excel worksheet or a Stata file or any other of these files that we've seen, that's possible to import into SAS. SAS's site will show you exactly how to do that in their documentation. So if you ever come across a hurdle, navigate to their documentation and search for whatever your query is, and most likely you will find the answer in there. But let's show you how to import the CSV file that we've downloaded. According to the documentation, we need to navigate to Server Files and Folders. I've just gone ahead and pasted my data set into my folder subfolder. Okay, so I'll navigate through the wine quality data set and I'll click on View File as Text. And I will open the contents of the file. Now we will click on the funny little dots here at the top and we say New Import Data. Then click on Select File and you select the wine quality CSV file. Now you can see we have the name of the data set here. SAS also shows where the file is located, and SAS has also automatically generated code to import this file. If we want to change where our output data is saved, we need to change the directory of the work library. Now, this work library that SAS deals with is a temporary library. So once you close your current SAS session, that library is depleted and you will lose the information that you stored in there. And if we look in the code console, we can see that SAS correctly identified the file as a CSV file. But we can also select it to be a CSV file if it didn't correctly identify the file as such. And now we want to run the code, so we want to import the data. In the results, we can see that the data is now imported. So let's just check if it has all the correct variables. Yes, it seems like it. So our output data will show us that the actual data set, and you can see that if there's a space in your column headings, SAS automatically converts that to an underscore. Well done on completing the demo and importing your first data set into SAS. Remember that you can always change your class date and time so that learning is always convenient for you. Should you feel the need, you are also welcome to restart the course at any time. This will take you back to lesson 1. Or you can watch a lesson recording at any time after your scheduled lesson, in case of missed classes or if you just want a recap. Remember that online learning is flexible and you can attend your classes using your smartphone, through your computer or laptop, or on your tablet device. You choose your own way. Remember, all the summary notes and slides are available in your toolkit and would really be worthwhile to keep as a resource at your fingertips beyond this course. But no sneak peeks, the lesson notes will only become available after you have attended your class or caught up with the lessons. These will also help you prepare for your first assignment. In each lesson, I will propose a bit of a challenge to you as the student. This challenge may have some concepts that you will have to read up on. The goal is to challenge you. Now, for this lesson challenge, I want you to see if there are any obvious data cleaning steps you can spot in the red wine dataset. You can use the hashtag #ImportDataShaw on social media to share your findings with your peers. You have reached the end of Lesson 1. I cannot wait for us to continue this journey in Lesson 2. I want to take a moment to remind you that this is a brand new course. It is hot off the press. You are literally one of the first batch of students to see this amazing and interactive content. Unfortunately, as it is brand new, we may run into a few delays. If you notice that the next video or any content is not available, do not fear. We are working tirelessly in the background to make the next lesson happen as soon as humanly possible. To make sure that you continue learning, why not sign up for our other courses in the meantime? Remember that you have access to all of our courses at no additional cost. So feel free to check out the ones that interest you the most. After all, knowledge is power. Well done on completing Lesson 1 of the Statistical Analysis course. You have completed your first step to becoming a more knowledgeable you.